Welcome to the Walking in Aloha Let's Talk Story podcast for day 61 of 90. Today is December 2nd, Tuesday, December 2nd, and we are on acute awareness. Focus for today is awareness of what your body is saying. The scripture for today is my presence will go with you and I will give you rest. Exodus 33:14. The affirmation for today is I am aware of the signals of that my body gives me and I respond with compassion. I am aware of the signals that my body gives me and I respond with compassion. So we went through the longest um, shutdown in US history recently. And during that time, um, everyone was like worried about calling out or being sick or anything because we didn't know if we would lose our jobs if we would just call out. We, I didn't know, you know. Anyway, it was a hard time. So it was a lot harder to just call out. It had a heavier weight. And there was a lot of people that were already calling out. There were some people that actually did get fired, um, that was let go um, for uh, too many call outs without doctor's letters or, things like that. And it's hard because when you're not feeling good, when your body is saying you have to call out and you push yourself, and then you go in and you feel even worse the next day because you know that you just pushed yourself just a little bit too much. So I called out yesterday and I've been having like really bad sinuses. I don't know whether changing or whatever the case may be, Vogue, but I haven't been feeling my best. And I still go to work. I still go, I take my allergy medication, I take whatever medicine I have, and I still go. Yesterday, I decided that I'm not going to push another day. I'm going to give myself that day off. Um, and I had my NCF graduation that day too. I had some other things, and that was earlier in the morning. So I was still able to go to work after, but I was like, no, I'm not going to. When my allergies are bad enough, like today, I have to take, like, I have to do the inhaler or things like that, which I don't like. I don't like having to take you know, the other allergy, not allergy, but like the, what do you call this? The Wexella, this stuff. I don't like that. I don't like that. I get it all the time. Um, uh, and I don't like to take so much medicine. I know that it's supposed to help you, but sometimes in the long run, I don't think it does well for your body. Anyway, I'm aware of the signals my body gives me and I respond with compassion because I said I'm not going to work. So I called out and I spent the day at home doing a lot of other stuff, and which was really good for me, not only my physical body but my mental health also. And I think more so now I need to be careful about that, and I need to be more aware of that when my body says it's it's time, then I need to take that time, because I know that when I decided, not decided, but I was like fighting for it, because I had these headaches, and I was like, I I just know that it's not the regular kind of headaches, that I was having before. And how's the commercials? Anyway, I'm not even sure if that's okay to have on the podcast, but it's just TV in the back. So anyway, um, I pushed to have an MRI for the headaches. And that's why I say we are our best advocates. And I don't know how else to say it, but you need to fight for yourself. You need to be able to say, I need this done. I need this done. I need this. uh, because if not, nobody knows you better than you. And even though the doctors were like, no, it's okay, you don't need it, I was like, no, I do feel like there's something wrong. And even after the fact, but I was like, no. And so, anyway, they told me that I didn't need the MRI. And I fought and fought and fought for the MRI, and then finally got the MRI. And then they find out that I had like 4 mini strokes. 3 of them are like white spots on my brain. And so those are like mini strokes. But the other one is a darker red spot, or dark spot. It's like a brain bleed, right? And so it leaves like a dark mark, because that was a more significant brain bleed. And it wasn't enough to cause any kind of physical um, showing or whatever that shows that I had a stroke or anything like that. And it's like I I didn't know, right? But I kept telling them that there was something wrong. So anyway, I'm not a doctor. I don't even know how to explain it. But yet they tell me that this is what they found. And I'm like, yeah. It's because I am aware enough of myself that I knew things were not right. Like, I was drawing complete blanks. I was like, and even now I tell them that, oh, you know, well, that explains why, because I felt this way, or that explains why, because this is what was happening. And they're like, oh no, that's not what it is. It's not that part of the brain. And I'm like, okay, whatever, you know. Um, I'm just like, they can tell me whatever they want. They can tell me whatever they want, but I know, and I know, and I know that it is exactly what it is. I cannot explain it any other way. That I know how I feel, and I know that what I was feeling wasn't right. So that is why I say you really do need to advocate for yourself, and you really do need to um, actually, like, sorry, I'm trying to organize some mess here. I just remembered something, but I have the fan on, it's blowing things around. um, so do remember that, advocate for yourself, and make sure that you are getting what you need. I feel like, anyway, okay. Just because I was thinking about my memory, I'm like, I feel like I'm missing something. Just because I thought about my memory. Anyway, affirmation for today, right? Remember that I am aware of the signals that my body gives me and respond. So, do a 5-minute body check. Where's the tension? Release with deep breathing. Pause for a moment and just breathe. Just breathe. And check in with yourself. Check in with your body. Because, as I said, we are our best advocates. No one knows you better than yourself. When you find those little things, pay attention to them. Pay attention to them. React to them. Because it is in those small times that it may be a life saving time. It may be something that changes you because they doctors don't know everything. You know better. Even for my leg, I was telling them that the physical therapy, it wasn't doing what it was supposed to do. And it's not that I'm not doing the exercises. It's that I can't do the exercises. And not like I say can't in a way where I'm weak and I'm not trying. I never use the word can't and I fake it. There's the word can't to me is like, no, if I say I can't, I really can't. Um, that means I know I've tried. Because I know before when I said, oh, I can't do it, there's no way. I never really tried. And I know the things that it's done to me, to my health, because I basically, yes, I half assed it and I didn't do my part. So I learned, and now when I say I can't, it's because I truly can't. That means I tried and I cannot. So when I was telling them that I can't, and they kind of like, okay, and pretty much brushed it off like as if I wasn't willing to do the job, right? Willing to do the work. I was like, okay. And then I had to show them because I discovered it at work one day when I was trying to move my. I was sitting at the exit lane and we have this chair and I was trying to move my leg in, like different ways. I was copying my right leg and my right leg can do this, my left leg cannot, right? And so I was asking, because I'm not a doctor, I was asking, because of the hip replacement, because of the surgery, um, would it prevent the muscle from moving in a certain direction? Would it prevent the muscle or the not not the muscle but the rotation of the leg or would it have any kind of hindrance, right? Because I don't know. I don't know structural wise what's happening in there. I don't know. Can it rotate the same way? Can it do the same things? Is there limitations? I'm not sure. But this one does this, this leg does this, and this one doesn't. And so when they saw that, they're like, oh. And then he's like, oh, try do this. And then I was trying to do some other things, and then he was like, oh, it's like that muscle is not working. I'm like, that's what I thought, because it feels like I can actually touch it, and it feels different from the other parts of my legs, right? So even that slight touch, like running your fingers on it, one side felt different from the other side. So being that acutely aware of yourself, of your own self. And I wanted them to take a look at it. They did an x-ray and it was like, oh yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with your leg. The hip replacement is good. And I'm like, oh yeah, I get that part, but um, the x-ray won't show the muscle part. And so yeah, they finally, after a while, they did allow me to get the MRI done. And once again, they found that I was right, that they should have listened a little sooner, and um, that the muscle has severe atrophy. And that now in January, I will be testing for um, other things like nerve damage and how much of the muscle is actually working and what muscle am I using to compensate and all of that. And he wants to go back in and do another surgery. But this surgery will be a lot more complicated, and I won't be able to use the muscle for at least 6 weeks. So, no weight bearing the way that they had me before, where it wasn't more concerned about the muscle, but more about the getting me moving so that the bone would start to, like heal and everything. So they want you to get moving. They want you up and moving right away. No weight bearing at all. I would have to use a crutch, like crutches, and actually no weight bearing on it at all. So that would be a little bit more uh, extensive, I think, and more complicated. But I don't want to wait longer and longer and have uh, muscle, more muscle deterioration. So, yeah, fight for yourself. Fight for yourself. Do those 5-minute body checks. Be your best advocate. Awareness is an act of healing. And if it wasn't for that acute awareness that I had of my own self, and also for what was around me, what was damaging to me, you know, going through those discernment seasons and knowing that there's times when we're going to have to take a closer look at what we're going through, because there's those seasons in our lives, those discernment seasons. Things need to change, or you need to do something else. So, but yeah, until tomorrow, thank you for being here with me on the Walking in Aloha Let's Talk Story podcast, and having to come in. And we are already on, like I said, day 61 of 90. Day 61, 61 days into our 90-day jumpstart. So that is amazing that we have been here this long and have stuck it through. So kudos to everyone. That is so good. Thank you so much for joining me. But until tomorrow, and um, we're going to be on health and healing. Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. Health and healing is for the week. Yeah, I just messed that up. I looked at it wrong. But the weekly theme is health and healing. Yeah. Ah, anyway, I was reading it wrong. I have to go. I have to get ready for work, but I have to go check on something else because as I was talking about my memory, I think I'm missing something or something is close. I have to go check. Anyway, I will talk to you guys all later. And I have to double check about those commercials coming on in the background on this TV. How do I get just a non commercial one to play in the back? Maybe I have to pay for my, um, what is it? I think, yeah, pay for my YouTube or something so the commercials don't show. Not sure. But I'm not sure even if the commercials are supposed to be showing up on my podcast. Not sure at all. Not sure. So, if that was wrong, sorry. That's unintentional and it is just TV in the back. So, sorry if you guys heard commercials. But I am not um, advertising, none of that. It's just there. So, all right. Talk to you guys all later. And ahui ho. Have a blessed day. God bless you always. Bye.